Today we are going to be doing a map for your nonfiction text features project. Make sure you're paying very close attention because this is going to be the hardest one that you're going to do, okay? Now a map is an important text feature because it tells the reader a location or a place where something is. Okay, so you can decide whether you're going to do a map of your neighborhood, of your bedroom, or of your house. Okay, now the tools that we're going to use to make this map right here is going to be these shapes tools, and we're going to use this text box right here just to title it. So first, let's start off with our text box. We're going to press this T right here, and then we're going to click where we want to type. And we're just going to title it My Neighborhood, My Bedroom, or My House. Okay, and I'm going to do My Neighborhood because I think my neighborhood is an interesting place. Okay, and if you want to move this around, you can click it and move it around where you want it so it's centered. Okay, and that's it. Now the other thing that you're going to use is these shapes tools, okay? And if you go right here, you can see you have lots of different shapes. You've got kind of square things over here. These, you have different arrows. You have stars and bubbles over here, and you have different equations. Mostly we're probably going to be using this one, okay? I'm going to start off with a rectangle to make the streets in my neighborhood. So I'm just going to make a long rectangle here to show my street. And I'm going to change the color of it by pressing this paint bucket right here. So if I press this paint bucket right here, and I'll just make it gray like a road. Okay, again, I need another street because the street ends here and goes like this. So I'm going to get another rectangle, click on that one, and I'm going to click and make a long rectangle this way to make the second street. Okay, and that one already turned gray, but if I wanted it to be a different color, I could change it right here. Okay, one thing that's really important in my neighborhood is that there's a huge park at the end of the street right here, so I want to show that. And again, I'm going to use a rectangle. And I'm going to change this color to green so that it looks like grass. Now in all of your shapes, if you double click inside of them, it will show a flashing cursor and you can type inside of it. So I want to type so that people know what this is. Okay, and I'm just going to put park. If you have the name of the park that you live next to, you could also put the name. Okay, and maybe I want to put some important things that are inside the park. There's really big trees in the corner of this park over here. So I'm going to click another shape and I'm going to use like this cloud shape right here to show a tree. Okay, I'll do like this. And I want to make this a darker green than the other one. Okay. There's some basketball courts in there too. So I'm going to get a rectangle and I'll put it like this. And I'm going to make that black because the basketball court is black. And I'm going to type inside of it. Double click so I can type inside of it. And I'm going to change the words to white because otherwise I'm not going to be able to see it. You see this letter A and you can change the color. Okay. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do for my park. Now I'm going to start putting the houses here. Now the reason I wanted to do my neighborhood is because it's pretty interesting, all the people that live there. So I'm going to label all my different houses for all the different people that live there. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a rectangle and I'm going to color the houses the color that the houses really are. So this is my neighbor's house right here and their house is light blue. So I'm going to press this paint bucket and I'm going to color it in light blue. I'm going to double click right here and there's no one living here. So I'm just going to put empty house. Okay. And next is my house. I live right here. Again, I'm going to click a shape. I'm going to click a rectangle. And my house is like a whitish gray, but the trim around it is like teal. So I'm going to click the paint bucket and I'm going to click this teal color right here. I'm going to double click and put my house. Next is my neighbor's house right here. I'm going to put a rectangle. And their house is just white. I'm going to put it white. And there's nothing interesting about these neighbors, so I'm just going to put neighbors. Okay. In the house next to that is my daughter's grandma lives there. So I'm going to put house for grandma right here. And her house is white, but it also has black, like almost black trim. So I'm going to put a dark gray. And grandma here. And next to that house is my daughter's grandpa. So here, I'm going to put another rectangle, and his house is pink. And I'm going to type grandpa. Okay. And then across from his house is a house that burned down. So I'm going to put, maybe I want to put like a weird broken down shape like this one. And I'm going to turn it red because it burned down. And I'm just going to label it the burned down house. Okay. Across from my grandma's house, there was a really nice old lady that brings us cookies all the time. And her house is green. And I'm going to label it nice lady that gives us cookies. Oops. Again, I'm going to go to my shapes. And next is this house is also green, but it's more like this kind of green. And this right here is a house with a really scary dog. Okay, and across from my house, there's nothing. There's just an empty lot with flowers. And so maybe I want to show some flowers there. Maybe I could do like this cloud shape again, and I'll just make them pink. Just put some nice flowers there. And now it's just always going to do them pink now that I colored it pink. Okay, and this house right here is a church. And so I'm going to, maybe I'm going to make it shaped, so that it has a peak on top, because that house does have a different shape than ours since it's a church. And that house is white. And maybe I want to find a shape that shows a cross. And I'm going to label this church. Okay, you can do anything you want here. Okay, this is my neighborhood. If you wanted to do your room and show where you have your bed and your books and your toys, where you keep your clothes, your closet, the windows, the doors. If you want to do your house and you can show the different rooms in your house, you can even put like where your dog or your cat is laying all the time. Just do something that's unique to you and use these shapes right here.